This is Uncle Fester with Shade Tree Survivalists. We're still in the, so what is this, the third day? The Survival Fest. We got some new faces come along, and one of the things I wanted to do was just take my USK apart. The thing that I've got planned, I've ordered myself a new, what is it, Alice pack, I think?
Large frame. A
large frame Alice pack that I got off of YouTube for, well, after everything was said and done, about $25 it was shipping and handling. And I'm going to try to combine two bags that I have. I'm going to try to show what I've got in each bag right now, and then I'm in the process of trying to combine the two bags. The bag that you see right here is my USK Urban Survival Kit. I left one of them open. But as you see, civilian, not exactly black. One of the things about a USK that you want to try to do is that you want to try to look as unmilitaristic as possible. If you're in an urban environment and you look like you are military, or look like you're police, or look like you're government, that can cause you problems on both ends. So
remember during the riots, the Rodney King deal, they attacked the police.
Exactly. So you don't want to look like anybody that's in any kind of authority. What you want to do is blend into the furniture, as they say, or blend into the wall. So one of the reasons why I've carried this particular pack for as long as I have is the simple fact that this looks civilian. In fact, this right here is it's a camping bag. I have no idea who makes this particular one. Sport. It's on your right hand side. Oh, Sport. It was my niece used it for a long time for her
high school.
Yeah, high school carry books and stuff like that.
She had thick books too.
Now,
like that.
One of the things you have to understand about this pack that I had in this pack that I no longer have in this pack was that I had a .357 Ruger Speed 6, and I had roughly about 100 rounds of ammunition for it. Done some horse trading since I've got down here, so I don't have that in the pack right now. But that's just one of those things that I wanted to put out there that was in the pack that's no longer in the pack.
So what are you going to put in the pack?
Huh?
What kind of weapon are you going to put in there?
I'm going to replace the weapon with a Colt 45 Virginia Dragoon.
Ooh.
It's a cowboy gun. A lot of people say, but I like it. I happen to be, I like to do a little bit of cowboy action shooting, so that's for me. I'm going to start off with the front pack here. Open it up. First thing that I'm going to pull out, flashlight, batteries. One of the things that you do when you're messing with USK is that you might be in a situation where there's no power. You don't know. Around here, we're in Georgia, so there's a lot of mixture between wooded area and urban areas. So you have to really be prepared to be able to survive in either one of those kind of conditions. To not be able to do that, you get into a lot of kind of cross stuff, whereas there are some people that would have their urban survival kit. Like if you was in someplace like maybe New York City or Atlanta, and that's where you worked at, that would be more along the lines of doing it a little bit more urban, whereas where we're at, we have a lot of rural and a lot of urban areas that's real kind of packed together, so you try to be prepared for both. But I got my flashlight. That was a free one. It's probably a little cheap, made in China one. I didn't pay anything for it. It was free. I got it probably at one of the little pipeline safety things that I go to. For me, I'm very frugal. I try to get stuff that's affordable, but at the same time is practical. There are other people that they only buy the best. So, Matt's one of those people. Mac Daddy's one of those people. But that right there, I got the little pouches. Mac Daddy got them for me. I'll see over here. I don't know if you can focus in on that, but I've got written on the outside of my bag what's in this bag. Because here's the thing. I only mess with this thing maybe once a year to maybe once every 6 months. You forget what's in there. I've got a lot of bags that look like this. In fact, I've got another bag in here. If I pull it out, 5 buckshot shells, 12 gauge. Okay, they look just the same. So you need to sit down and sometimes it's better off to sit down and label stuff with something that's not going to come off. I used a permanent marker. But in this one, I got my little mini binoculars. You never know when you're going to need something. I got a little pair of Bushnells 10 by 25s. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive. I probably spent somewhere upwards of about maybe $25 on that pair. So,
Be very careful because they scratch easy.
yeah, that's true too.
Plus, you really don't want to drop them in
You know,
something real hard.
I got my buckshot shells. You know, if things hit the fan, I generally keep a shotgun around and about. If I come across it, I've got it. If I don't have my shotgun shell and I happen to come across one, 12 gauge is the most popular
Shot shell.
shot shell that's out there, to be honest with you. Now, this is something that I made for myself. Made this little X thing. That's probably close to about 50 foot of 550 paracord. I made this right here with I made the little thing that I got it tied to and everything. It makes it easier to do whatever it is that I want to do with it. Wrap it off if I want something out of it. You can pull it tight. It's compact. Doesn't get in the way. That's about everything in that one. All right, let's go over here to this side one. Oh, probably not a lot left in here because this is where I was carrying ammo at. I got a 38 piece ratcheting screwdriver set. It's got everything in here from screwdrivers to star bits to flatheads to Phillips heads to even got a couple of other stuff. I can't even think we'll see what that other one is, but anyway, it's made by Husky. It was given to me for
Father's Day?
no, this was given to me for Christmas.
Oh.
And you know, I had it just laying around, and I said, you know, that's a good multi-tool. You want more bang for your buck in anything that you do in a bag, because anything that adds weight to this has got to have it. Is there to save your life, but the more uses you can get out of the stuff that takes up the weight inside the bag, the better off that you are. You say, well, why do you want to carry maybe something like this right here? Well, what if you're in the city and maybe a build goes down on you? You have to open up grates or something. You always got a bevy of a whole different set of tools to be able to do different things like that. Next, here on the other side, thread, needle.
Sew your clothes back up.
Now, you say, what in the world do you need that for? What you gonna do? You know, do a little needle point? Well, I can if I wanted to, but the main thing that I've got this in here for is one thing. What if you bust a button on your clothes?
Strap breaks on your backpack.
Strap breaks on your backpack. But even better than that, if for whatever reason, God forbid, you got cut, you can use that right there to sew yourself back up. It ain't the best thing the exact thing that you want to do, but if you had to, that's another use for that. Electric tape. I love electric tape. If there's three things in the world that I love, it's WD-40, duct tape, and electric tape. 101 different uses for that right there. You never know. I mean, you can use it to strap stuff together, lash things together. Lots of uses for electric tape.
You could probably take your Buckmaster and you have like a rifle or something, take that duct tape, wrap it around it real quick a few times.
Yep. And like I said, 101 different uses. Okay, moving on. All right, we're getting into the next little thing here. These little organizers, I didn't spend hardly nothing. I spent a lot of time going to yard sales, and then going to yard sales, you pick up stuff. I picked this up for $0.25. Nothing wrong with it. It was a book holder, but at the same time, well,
you're just sitting there taking them back.
It's nothing that I can sit here and use it and do what I want to with it. Now this right here is what they refer to as a map reader. I can sit down and close that. That's supposed to be closed up. It's also got a light with it. If I push this, well, let's see. I don't think I got the batteries in this one right now, but it's got a little map light. It's a map reader. You know, you might be in a safe that you got something that you want to read. Originally, I bought it because I figured it could also be used as a fire starting tool, but we've kind of, through proof of concept, proved that that doesn't work. So
you can use prescription glasses. I know that you gotta angle it a certain direction.
This is the best stuff in the world. This is Gorilla Duct Tape. And that's an old Winn-Dixie card that I had. And I simply took, instead of keeping it on to conserve space and weight, I wrapped it up and up and up and up and up. And there you go. It's nice, it's compact, and it's lighter. Learned that right there. Picked that up off of Nothing Fancy. That's one of the best little ideas I've ever come across right there, is doing that. Here again,
More
more electric tape. The more, you never know how much you're going to need of something, and that stuff is something that's got so many extra uses that it's just worth the wait to me. Now, along with other things, here we got utility knife. It's always good to have something that's razor sharp. With this particular one, I can open it up, take it apart. Not a whole lot of trouble or muss to put that one together or take it apart. Plus it's at an angle. Gives you more downward force to cut with. I love that little thing right there. Pair of dikes. Wire cutters. You never know whether you might be cutting a cut through fences or something like that.
Like you said, royal area.
Huh?
It's like you said, royal area.
Right. Knife sharpener. Very good to have, because if you watched any of the videos where we were batoning wood and splitting wood with our knives and stuff, it dulls it up quick. That right there, a couple of times, it's almost good enough to shave your arm. So
That's one way to tell your knife is sharp, taking your running up or down in your arm.
have a very small pry bar. That right there probably wouldn't be good for nothing more than pulling nails, but you don't ever know when you're going to need something like that. Very essential. Scissors. Having a good pair of scissors. You never know if you get to a place where you have to cut somebody's clothes off. Maybe they got an injury or something.
Snip,
Cut
snip.
rope with that. There's a lot of different uses for that. I love having a pair of scissors. A file. You say, well, what do you need a file for? Well, if this doesn't work, that will. Lots of different reasons, ways and things and means that you could use for that. Very essential. I got this taped up. It's a hacksaw. You might have to cut through rebar. You might have to cut through something steel. That little baby right there will get right on there through that. That's a Stanley. When you get tired, when you use up and do this on right here, you can take it out and you can flip it. You essentially got a backup to what you got. These right here are really good. I picked this up for about $10 at Walmart. They're not really expensive, but they're worth the wait putting it in your pack. This right here, I haven't really used this. I don't know how this one would work, but it's to pull off bolts with. It goes from I got a metric, or it's it goes from 13 millimeter to 22 millimeter. And this end goes from 8 millimeter to 12 millimeter. Plus it goes for standard.
You can get those at Sears, can't you?
So I got this for a Christmas present. So I really don't know how much that would cost, but that's a good thing to have along with you. Again, we use redundant, just in case that is. There's a lot of things out there that's got 9/16. I want to say that this one right here is 7/16 on one end and 9/16 on the other, and 3/8.
9/16, half, 7/16, 3/8.
That's the main things that, as far as taking bolts apart, right there. Everything from brakes to everything else. Pair of needle nose. There's things that a pair of regular pliers won't get to.
Use them to sew somebody up with real good.
A Sharpie. Maybe you need to write something. You can write on any surface with this. Trust me, I know. I've written on enough
Except
bathrooms
water.
to know.
If you use it on water, it'll stop
Yeah.
it.
Water,
If it's wet.
If it's wet, he makes a good point. I have been down in the bottom of a hole when one of these things got wet, and it's no good after that happens because it sucks it up into it. But if you want to write something on a wall, or you want to write something, Leave a note behind. You know, you might be saying, all right, I've already searched here. Nobody's in this building. Hey,
Whatever
I
works
love
for you.
Sharpies. This is what we call a Georgia Boy ratchet set. You say, well, hey, you've already got that right there. Well, that I don't know how it's going to work. I really had to put a proof of concept on that one.
You
This
need
right
to.
here, there ain't too much you can't take apart with that right there. Regular plain old wire pliers. You say, well, you know, you got 2 pair of pliers in there now. Well, for me, there's places that this can get that can't get to, and there's places that can do that this can't do. So, this right here, old timer. It's a little bit ragged. It's one that my dad gave to me, but you can just about shave with that right there. I believe I could baton wood with that if I wanted to. No problem. It's just a little bit smaller knife.
Isn't it stainless steel?
I could. We might end up having to try that.
Proof of
It's a
concept.
very, very old knife.
I
I'm
would.
pretty sure that right there is tougher than any of the newer knives that I can get a hold to.
It got a full tang.
It's full tang. Goes all the way through. Got the old bone handles on it.
Nice.
Very. This is one of those things that you have to go to like old times buffet to find.
Alright. That's everything that was in there.
What's in Uncle Fester's book bag?
Yeah, there you go. You know, before it's over, we're going to do a Uncle Fester's what's in Uncle Fester's pocket 2.0.
Oh,
There you go. This is an easy fire starter. Most of the time around, well, where I'm at, I'm a little bit further down in South Georgia. You got about maybe 3 weeks of cold weather at that much. This year we only had 1 week of cold weather, and it doesn't come all together. So I can pretty much count on that. If you're somewhere where it gets real cold, this right here will become useless. But that right there is I got that for $1. I mean, have an easy way to start a fire. Ah, yes. Weather radio.
yep, crank system. You'd already see the light on the front of it goes.
Oh, that ain't good.
You done broke it, didn't you?
It ain't broke, just trying to slide out. That might be something I have to work on a little bit later on. I bought this for $29 off online off of eBay.
Eevee is very good. That's where we got that Alice pack.
But anyway, works off of the crank. Works off of AA batteries, if I remember right. It's got a flashlight. Got a weather band radio. So that's a means of communication. If you're cut off from people, you know, if the radio stations are still up and they're still working, or you're out in the middle of the woods and you need to know whether or not you're going to be in the middle of a storm or not. $30 investment. Haven't really put that one to the test yet,
Need to.
but haywire. That's some of the best stuff in the world. It's got 100. You can, if your bumper falls off, hey, you can wire it back up.
Million and one uses on that one.
Yeah, you can use it to build shelters with.
Sorry I fell down on you there, Uncle Fester. I
No
had
problem.
something I was looking for.
Y'all should know what that is.
Very simple.
It's not white lightning.
All I did was just recycle one of my Diet Sam Cokes bottles. As long as you use these, probably about, I think you have to change out the water. If you live in the city and your water's chlorinated, these are good for 6 months to better. 6 months for sure. A little bit longer than that if you want to. It's about time for me to change the water in this one. But that's a very cheap way to put water into your pack and carry it. Rubber bands, twisty ties.
$1 billion and one uses.
$1 billion and one uses with that, I'm telling you.
Got a stack of twisty ties like that at the house.
Precision screwdrivers.
You wear eyeglasses.
I wear eyeglasses, so these right here are an essential things, because every now and again these bad boys get loose. You gotta tighten them up. Sometimes you might have to be working on something delicate. That right there is worth the wait, in my opinion anyway.
If you work on like smaller car models, they're good too.
Alright, here, let's see what we got in here. .22 ammo. I used to carry a .22 pistol on this one, so that's kind of left over from that. But
He's fixing to have another pistol in there.
CCI 22 long. These are the onlyest bullets that are out there as far as 22 that's made for a 22. That is made with a that they made one-shot stops. They were to the head, of course.
That looks like a German
He
Ruger.
just gave me back my other one. That one's loaded, Matt. You gonna hand me a loaded gun, boy? You know how dangerous I am.
What gun is unloaded?
That's true too.
There ain't no such thing as unloaded guns.
Now this right here, this is an old RG. This right here belonged to my father. He didn't know a whole lot. It's a model RG-14. This is about one step away from being a starter pistol. You can't hit the broadside of a barn, but I tell you what, it's better than at up close ranges. It's better to have one of these than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably going back in my pack today as well.
That was a dumb question, dude.
What?
Don't hand you a loaded gun. All guns are loaded.
I understand that.
Let's treat them as loaded.
Poncho. Very good to have in your backpack. You might be out in the rain. You can use this to keep cover stuff up with. You can, if you're laying somewhere wet, you can lay it down to keep having to lay on wet dirt.
Ground sheet. Yep.
Ground sheet. There's a lot of uses for a poncho. That cost me exactly probably $1. Actually, it was free because I pilfered it off of my niece, I think. Pilfering works too. Gloves. I want to say these is
They look like regular work gloves.
This is regular work gloves. They've got kind of a coating on them. You never know what you're going to be handling. I mean, you might be having to handle something that's got glass or whatever. You might be handling something. I mean, if you have to knock out a window or something and then mess with it.
You're teaching people how to.
Tell you they're cut resistant level 3.
There you go.
So they're good enough to get inside the door.
Got an extra set of glasses. If I break my glasses while I'm out and about, and these happen to have a clip on as far as sunglasses, but they also.
Man, he didn't look as sophisticated as he does now with his new ones.
I can sit there and take them off, so I got my regular glasses and I got sunglasses.
If you're blind as he is without them, and you don't have an extra set, you're an idiot.
I can see about that far in front of my face without my glasses, so that was something, one of the first things that I put in my pack was an old pair. I need to update that, honestly, because I've got another pair that I could put in there. Now, this right here, I use, we use, give me a minute, I'll tell you what it's called, little Kool-Aid, kind of like Kool-Aid, the packs, but it's the sugar-free stuff. And I would just take the wrappers off of it so that I could see what was on the inside of it. This is dryer lint. Everybody that's got a dryer, you can pull the lint out, and I'm telling you, this stuff right here is great for starting fires.
Yep.
I got 2 packs of matches in the end of it.
Is that a number 4 flammable?
There you go.
That sucker will go like that. It's got human hair in it, cotton, polyester, all lint for your clothes. It'll light just like that.
And all I've done with it to make it waterproof is duct taped it. I got 2 packs of matches.
Can't duck it, what? There you go. You know what we're saying?
Alright. This I've got from Burger King.
I love Burger King.
I've got a spork. I got pepper. I've got salt. I got sugar. You never know.
Man, to keep your
Nothing makes food taste better than me than pepper and salt. I like it.
love salt, man. He's
And
time that you're
salt also helps you retain water.
Yep.
In very hot conditions.
Yep. What I have here is a hat.
You got that from his son.
Huh?
No.
This hat right here was given to me by a company that was giving stuff away, a Hodges company.
Oh, I'm sorry, you two.
So you never know. I mean, I might leave the house. Most of the time I have a bandana on me. I might not have a bandana on me. Got a hat. You never know if you're out in the woods or you're out. Maybe you just want to hide your face. You put that on, pull it down. You're good to roll.
Change what you look like.
Again,
prevent sunburn.
If you look at anything that I have here, none of this stuff is militaristic looking. There's a reason for that. You want to blend. Next, toiletries.
Toilet paper.
I got a little bit of everything in here. I got shampoo, I got conditioner, I got soap. Nothing makes you feel better when you're hot and you're sweaty and you stink and you smell like the south end of a northbound donkey, to give yourself a bath.
Go hop in here a creek and you good to go.
So, to
We'll
me,
make sure there ain't no.
that's one of those little necessities. You don't know how long you're going to be there. Hopefully I wouldn't be there long enough to worry about having to take a bath. Here again, Wendy's, spoon. You never know when you have to eat. Everybody's got to eat. There you go.
Man's got to eat.
That toiletries thing is also great against lot lizards. Tell them to clean up before they come back knocking on your truck and they'll leave and won't never come back. Just kidding.
I got my purifier, water purifier tablets. Right there.
I need to get some of
You
those.
never know. You got the even after you boil it, you need to purify it.
Yeah.
It's just one of them things. There's stuff that boiling don't catch anymore. Now, briquettes. All that is just basically fire starting stuff. My wife picked this up at Goodwill for $1.
I wish we had some fight lighter, show them what fight lighter looks like.
You always want to carry something that's flammable. You never know whether the ground's going to be wet. If you've got something dry to get something started, this that lint, the dryer lint burns up like that. This right here is something a little more substantial. It's like brick. All it is little charcoal briquettes.
If you know what,
Now, if you don't want to, I happen to find that, but if you take charcoal, you get a big old bag of charcoal. If you get you something like that right there and put you some charcoal briquettes in there, that's a darn good way to get a fire started. Trust me.
if you know what fat lighter looks like, there you go, something else.
Yeah, fat lighter wood's the best in the world.
As hard as a brick, it's probably about time to go ahead and use it. But I got Gatorade.
Replenish them.
You got to replenish all the stuff that you're going to be sweating out if it happens to be summertime or you're around a fire situation or whatever.
Now don't forget the helium balloon to carry this bag because it's heavy.
It's heavy. Don't get me wrong, boy. This thing is heavy. I'm gonna set these two things aside here so I can finish emptying out the bottom of this. What I have here is full-on rain gear.
Oh God! You only how many things went through my head?
Basically turns into a trench coat. That's the kind of rain gear that it is. It's a trench coat.
Dig your trench with your knife.
I can tell you from my job experience, just messing around with my job and stuff. It's got a hood with it. I've got down here where we're at was one day we had a tornado go through the town where I work at, and in all seriousness, it was almost probably about 80 degrees that morning while we were working on everything, and we started working that morning at about 7 o'clock, and we was working all the way until 3 o'clock that night, and it went from being 80 degrees outside and sweating and dropped down to 20 degrees. That's the way things is down there. You never know when a cold front rolls through like that. I almost froze to death. That right there, you wear that, it keeps the rain off of you. I did that because I was wet. Now, wrecking bar. You never know if you're going to have to pry open the door, pull something off of somebody, bust out a window, knock somebody in the head.
Why would you be busting somebody's window?
To try to get them out of somewhere. Maybe you're trapped in the building. Maybe you need to try to get down for a little ways.
Open the elevator doors.
Open elevator doors. I bought this for $1.
That'll bust out a windshield in a hurry.
I went to the flea market, walked around. Dude had it laying on the table. I asked him how much he wanted for it. He told me $3. I told him I'd give him $1. He said sold. So
Power of bargaining.
I love flea markets and yard sales. Those are my two favorite things. Y'all guys, my knees is getting the better of me, so y'all forgive me for having to sit Indian style.
Hey yo, hey.
This right here, this was a free bag that was gave away at SunTrust. I use it for a clothes bag. Socks. You ever get your feet wet?
Miserable.
Miserable.
That gum hide to peel off too. They stay wet.
A pair of cold weather gloves. Leather. Keep your hands warm if nothing else. Wool cap. And this right here is something that I feel like I really would like. I'm really going to probably end up putting another one of these in the bag. It's a towel. A little old small towel. 101 different things that you can do. That you can use this to dry off. You can use this to lay your weapons down if you're having to take it apart to clean. And if you're getting a really good tight, you can always snap them in the nuts with it.
You just hit yourself in the
You always
head.
do is turn your socks inside out and use them as a washcloth.
Now, this is my bed pack. Now, you're going to see stuff in here that you're probably not going to think of. That ain't medical related. Just follow me on this because I'm trying to do a poor man's version of a med kit. So, first thing right off the bat, here again, I was using those containers. Those right there are maxi pads. You say, well, what do you need those for?